Hi, it's both Immaculate Paint Protection here. We have a 2020 Ram 1500 Limited. It's in the shop today for our partial front end paint protection film package. We're going to wash it up. We'll do an iron decon. We'll do clay bar. We're going to put the S-Tech paint protection film on the partial front end. She goes here. Here we'll do the front bumper. We'll get it all cleaned up, looking good. Come on for a ride, guys. Thanks. Step in the process is we're going to protect the inside. We're going to put a floor liner down, followed by a seat cover. And finally, we have our steering wheel cover. We try to keep ourselves clean when we're coming inside the vehicles, but just an extra step to make sure we keep this vehicle exceptionally clean for our customer. This is a customer request. We're going to remove the dealership badge. Pretty much every dealership now standard will put their badge on their advertising, so you're driving down the highway advertising the dealership. Maybe you got a great deal, you want to leave it on there, fine. In this case, the client asked us to remove it. I like to remove this before we wash the vehicle down, so then we can take the tar remover and get all the adhesive off. We start by using a heat gun, applying a little heat there, loosen up the adhesive behind here. There should be a pressure sensitive adhesive, PSA, foam back adhesive. Once we get that warm, the fishing wire will come in, lift off that adhesive, and then we take this badge off. So now we're left with the adhesive. We're going to get that hot, get it warm, then we'll use our adhesive remover. We're using GI tar here. Plastic razor blade. Plastic won't damage the paint. Okay, now the badge is off. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and wash the rims and tires up as the first step of the wash process. Use our tire brush here. Have a mixture of some soap and water. We're going to use a nice boar's hair brush for the rim faces, and we'll use one of our easy detail brushes to go in behind to get the whole wheel barrel. I'm looking for the soap to remain white when it's agitated. So it's still white, that means it's completely clean. We're good to go. Let's just rinse it off and go to the passenger side. Let soak on. Around the rim faces. So we spray the iron remover, chemical reaction takes place. That takes about 3 to 5 minutes. We can let it set up here because we're inside the shop and not in the direct sun. It's not baking off, burning off. The customer's only paying for the partial hood. We'll go ahead and decon the full hood. Form is a customer courtesy. We'll get the rocker panel too. The rocker panel will be covered in section code. So now we're going to rinse off the iron removing decontamination product. I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but one thing you'll see is we'll start to see the purple run off onto the floor. The purple is a result of the chemical reaction that's burning off the iron, taking the iron off the purifier. Completely safe, harmless, to make paint look great. We're all set up. All right, the rinse is complete. Okay, so now we're in the final wash step. We're going to do the contact wash. We're going to use our 2-bucket method here. We're using high quality microfiber wash nets here. You take them home after each wash. We wash them out. We're going to go front and back on the truck. We're going to flip it over and side to side. We're going to go front, back, side to side, because we don't want to use any swirl marks. If it scratches the paint. We use a different wash mitt for the rocker panel area and the door jambs. Those areas are more inclined to have any dirt, excess heavy debris on there. We don't want to use the same wash mitt and potentially introduce that contaminant onto the top or the sides of the truck or car. that could actually scratch up the vehicle. So it's just one extra step we do to make sure we're being super safe with this new truck. We'll do 2 rinses. One, I'm going to rinse all the soap off the car. Then I'm going to go over and switch the water over. We have deionized water now in the shop, which theoretically, ideally, after we rinse it off, we can walk away from the car, dry spot free. But we will dry the car off with some super nice microfiber towels, so you'll see that here. The one trick about microfiber towel maintenance is always wash it on cold at home, dry it on low. The hot water, the high heat from the dryer will make the microfiber hard, make it crunchy. That's a great way to scratch up your car. You don't want to do that. So remember, microfiber is washed on cold water, dry on low. I'm using light pressure. I don't need to rub, but push and force. That's another way to introduce chlorine to the paint. Just roll light. Just try to pick up the water, that's all. This towel is the same construction as the purple towel. It's just sold by the company. It's also high quality. When we start drying off the rims and door jams, we don't use black towels for that. The rims and door jams, those are the super dirty areas. We don't want to cross-contaminate. The other important reason I like to have multiple towels in the shop, or recommend, the consumer should have multiple towels. For this truck, we're on our 3rd towel now, so I would recommend 3 to minimum, 4 is ideal. The reason you want to have a backup towel, if I drop this towel, we're picking it up off the floor, it's going in the wash bin. It's not even going to come close to a vehicle. So if you ever drop your wash mitt, your towel, outside, on the ground, stop, pick it up, set it to the side. Whatever you do, don't put it back on the vehicle.
So this is the computer, obviously, and this is the pre-designed templates that we're going to use for the 2020 Ram 1500. This piece down here is the bumper with the sides on the bumper, and then we've cut in the grill piece. And this piece up here is the cap top and the A-pillars. This is the computer cut plotter. So from the computer to the plotter, we load up the film, which in this case is S-Tech Dyno today, and then we cut it. So here's a common question we get. What's the difference between the partial front end package and the full front end? For this 2020 Ram 1500 here, I've pulled up the files for the full fender. So this is the full fender for the passenger side. This will be the full fender cutout for the driver's side here. As you can see the mouse moving over. And then up top here, for comparison's sakes, I have the partial front end fender pieces. So it's gonna cover the front tip, the front leading edge, and then it's gonna stop there. If I can grab this here, I'll drag this over onto the full front end. And you can see roughly, for comparison's sake, this is the coverage you get with the partial, this is the coverage you get with the full front end. Both packages are great, but why is the full front end not more than double, almost double? Well, it's because you get a substantially amount more material that we have to use when we do that. So on a coverage per dollar wise, the full front end, you get more material, you get more bang for your buck with the full front end. But we also understand that the partial front end is a great package too, and fills a need for a lot of people. So either way, you're not going to go wrong, but that's the coverage, and that's the amount of material usage there. So hopefully that answers the question, the difference between partial and full front end.
We got 2 pieces of film here today. We're almost ready to start applying the paint protection film. But first we need to make up our solutions, our slip and our pack solutions to apply the film. The film goes on wet. Distilled water. We use distilled water just because it won't impact soap solution, and then I have a dedicated or consistent source of water. The slip solution will vary based upon temperature, humidity. It's different from film manufacturer to film manufacturer. Baby shampoo, we're using. Shake the heck out of it. Flush out the bottom. Slip solution does a couple things. It helps get the material out of the vehicle. Gives me some time to position the material into place before the adhesive sets up on it. Too little soap's a problem because the material will wipe down right away. Too much soap's another problem because then it's just going to slide off the vehicle. So I'm using 3 ml, 5 ml of soap. Cool. We got a nice. This is our tack solution. Red means stop, so that's going to stop. It's going to flush out the soap solution. That way the adhesive can just bind right up, bite right up, and stick to the vehicle. So we're good to go. We can start applying paint protection foam now. This is a really nice fitting pattern here. One of the advantages of this pattern is it goes right up into this fold or this crease or technically this body line on this panel. So even though there's this piece of film here, it's going to be virtually indistinguishable once it's installed and dried out on the car, because your eye's not going to be able to catch that line of material. This panel, it's really nice. This piece wraps around inside of the fender well here. I'm trying to show it to you right up through here. So that's really nice. But we're going to use our hot water or steam, and we're just going to apply it. It's a small section right through here. So we'll take that off. Get a finger under an edge. And you can see it's starting to come off. A little more water. Heat it up. Once it's got too hot, so it's going to rip. That's the paint protection film from the factory. So this piece is to the front. A little more water to go off the way. Beautiful. Why is paint protection film on this truck? It's a brand new truck. It's installed by the factory because the factory's identified that this area right here is super prone to rock chip. So over the years what happens, people got these brand new trucks, they're $50, $60, $70, $80, $90,000 now. The dealerships are proactively installing paint protection film on the vehicle. It's just cost prohibitive and time prohibitive for them to install paint protection film on the entire vehicle, the front end of the factory. So for us to do the job correctly, we need to take the paint protection film off the truck here. Our piece is a lot bigger. It's going to go top to bottom. It's going to wrap around into the fender well, which is great. If the vehicle's ever been in an accident, it's factory paint, comes off no problem. This is the factory piece. We'll wipe that down with some adhesive remover, and we can install our paint protection film. So I'm just going to walk through here. We're going to do the driver's side, the locker panels on the driver's side here. We'll start by taking the cowl. We'll wipe it down with some of our tack solution, which is isopropyl alcohol, and 2% mixture and distilled water. We'll make sure it's clean. Then we're going to start installing oil from the front to the back, the rocker panels, and then we'll just have a nice time lapse. So come along for the ride. I just dropped this towel on the floor, so it's going to go over into the wash basket. We've got a couple more clean, fresh towels. We got the 2020 Ram, been prep washed, ready to go. We have paint protection film on the rockers now. We got the grill surround done. So today we're going to get into, we're going to do the roof top here. The A-pillars will fill up the side of the front windshield. We're going to do that next here. Let's get some gloves on and we'll get ready to go. An additional add-on the customer requested for this vehicle was the door sill area. So we're going to open the door. There's about a 3-inch piece that we're going to put inside the door sill. That'll protect the paint, protect the door sill when you're coming in. If you got any boots, high heels, nice shoes on, that'll stop that from scuffing and dragging. So we're going to do partial fender, partial tip, the wheel arch, and then we'll go ahead and do the mirror. So this vehicle here, we always recommend to do the headlights with the paint protection film. That's going to stop all the rock chips coming in and breaking through the protective UV coating that they apply at the factory. So the paint protection film is going to stop the rock chips. It'll keep that UV coating on there, but the paint protection film also has a UV coating in it, so you won't see these headlights yellow out over time, which is a big safety concern. You're driving down the road with your family, and you're only getting 50% of the light power coming out of the headlights. That really affects your visibility on the road, which is directly a safety issue. So we always recommend adding on the headlights here. We're going to spray it on. We'll get the PPF here in a second. Here's a common area we also do. Paint protection film was a nice add-on. It's we call it the door cup area. It's the area that's directly behind the door handle. So what happens is when you're reaching in there, typically you don't have these nice black gloves on. You go in there, your fingernails will grab in. They'll start you to scratch up, kind of chew up the paint a little bit there. If you have rings on, that'll help. So the nice thing is we get this in there now when the vehicle's fresh, but it's really just a pain to polish that area out. I can't get one of the, even the small 3-inch polisher that I have, it's almost virtually impossible to get back there. So fixing this area, remediating it after the paint's been torn up, it's tough to do. It's not impossible, but a good preventative measure is to put the door cups, to install the door cups. Install the paint protection foam door cups now when the vehicle's still clean and fresh. So we'll go ahead and do that. So one of the things we did is we turned the fans on. We let the vehicle set up overnight. As you saw during the process, we use soap and water as a slip agent. So there is always some residual water left behind in that, and people freak out. Oh my God, there's bubbles in my car. The fans help. Letting it sit overnight, a lot of that will dissipate. There's still going to be some water in the vehicle. We get most of the bubbles out. It just takes 30 days for it to fully cure out, and the water will come around. So don't freak out about that. That's just part of the process. But I'll take you around and I'll show you the truck here. We're really happy with the way this 2020 Ram 1500 came out. We did a partial front end. We used the S-Tech film. The benefit of the S-Tech film is that it has a ceramic coating infused all the way down into the polyurethane impact layer. So that's going to make it easier to clean. It'll be hydrophobic, which means the water will beat up on it. So we went ahead and we did the rocker panels, which is from here down. It's really nice. That body seam, that's where the panel, that's where the pattern ends. So it's hard to tell that it's on the truck right now. You can see my reflections. New truck, it's in really great shape. This car's been well maintained. It's 200 miles. The one thing I like about this vehicle is whatever dealership, they did take nice care of it when they prepped it out. There's a couple scratches on there, but that would be taken care of with a ceramic coating during the polish process. So the full bumper's done, which is important because the bumper needs the coverage. Since it's metal that gets chipped up, it's going to rust. The grille is done. Even went ahead with the S-Tech and the premium patterns we used here. The Ram emblem. The Ram emblem is covered too in paint protection film. So that's nice, because what's going to happen is you're going to be driving down the road and that thing's going to get smacked up. With this big grill area, you're going to start killing bugs. Bugs are going to get on there. Now with the ceramic infused coating, it's going to make it easier to clean for this guy here. We'll just go down the other side. Again, the rocker panels are done. Obviously, we do rocker panels on both sides. Say hi to the camera. To the back. We went ahead and we did the door cups. Door cups is this area right in here. All 4 doors. We covered the mirrors. We did the A-pillars. The cab top. Going across, so I mean, the next step up, the next package up for this vehicle would be the full front end, which would obviously cover the full fender, the full hood. But this guy got a real nice package here with the truck, so the partial front end will probably cover 70-80% of the area, impact area for the rock chips. If you have any questions, contact us at ImmaculatePaintProtection.com. Thanks.
Packages, pricing, and more, visit us at ImmaculatePaintProtection.com.